Well, as Hyderabad was hit with the blast, India's top diplomat, Foreign Secretary Ranjan Mathai, was in America meeting the US Secretary of State John Kerry, and he was outlining terrorism as the significant security challenge and that India could face an increased terror threat from Afghanistan in the years ahead.
I cannot overemphasize the point that terrorism is and will remain a preeminent security challenge for both our countries. Our convergence on the source and the nature of the threat in our region has never been greater. It is therefore a challenge that provides us an opportunity for enhanced cooperation in combating terror and protecting our people from it.
And the spokesperson for the US State Department, Victoria Nuland, has said, and I quote here, "We condemn the cowardly attack in Hyderabad, India in the strongest possible terms. We extend our deepest sympathies to those affected and to the people of India. The United States stands with India in combating the scourge of terrorism," unquote. And for more on that, let's go across to our chief diplomatic correspondent, Parul. She's joining us from the newsroom. Parul, Foreign Secretary Ranjan Mathai, they're reiterating that terrorism is the biggest threat for both India and US. Also, he's talking about how the situation in Afghanistan could impact India.
That is the big message coming out of America, Priyali. The Foreign Secretary was speaking at an influential American think tank, and he told his audience that it was now time to have a frank chat with the American government on Afghanistan. Mr. Mathai then went on to point out that he believed that there was absolutely no difference between groups like the Taliban and the Al-Qaeda, in that both these outfits or these groups were violent extremist groups. So here was Mr. Mathai outlining India's concerns about the West looking to cut deals with the Taliban. Mr. Mathai making the point of the Indian government public that it was not possible to do deals with groups like the Taliban because there was no change in the strategic orientation of the Taliban or their backers. So in a sense, dismissing publicly some of those claims that are now being heard in quarters in Rawalpindi, London and Washington DC, that it's time to cut deals with the Taliban. India going public for the first time in recent months about the security concerns that are likely to emanate from Afghanistan as the end game nears in that country.
Right. Also, Parul, just tell us, is that meeting with John Kerry likely to be held today, and are these going to be the important points that are going to be brought up by Ranjan Mathai?
Absolutely. The Foreign Secretary is there to have talks with the senior US officials. Next month, you have the India-US strategic dialogues. The new Secretary of State, John Kerry, is expected to be in Delhi for that dialogue as well. Of course, counter-terrorism is a very important area of cooperation. You heard Mr. Mathai there at that think tank talk about the need to strengthen counter-terrorism cooperation and outlining why he believed that was necessary, because in the years ahead, India is likely to face a growing terror threat from Afghanistan. Given that the West was now looking to cut deals with groups like the Taliban and publicly warning against that policy.
All right, Parul, we leave it there for the moment. But remember, in the wake of the Hyderabad blast, high alert has been issued in all major capital cities.